What is going on? 22-year-old Jimmy Donaldson, also known as YouTuber MrBeast, has just launched a 300 outlet burger chain overnight. And he's done this right in the middle of the biggest crisis the entire restaurant industry has ever seen. So how did he do it? In case you missed it, this Sunday, MrBeast posted this video to his 48 million subscribers. In the video, he's giving away free food, money, a car, and then the big news at the end.
If you like what you saw in this video, you too can eat Beast Burgers. I literally just opened 300 restaurants all across America.
And wait, you might think, isn't this the month we've been seeing headlines like this, and this, and this? So how did MrBeast pull this off? And how's this taking YouTuber merchandising and product sales to an entirely new level? The answer starts with this man, Robert Earl. If you've ever been in a Hard Rock Cafe or a Planet Hollywood, Robert Earl is the guy behind both of them. He launched Planet Hollywood with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and Sylvester Stallone. And while he's still the CEO of Planet Hollywood, he's now moving from Hollywood celebrities to YouTubers, and he is MrBeast's partner. 2 years ago, Robert launched Virtual Dining Concepts with the goal of being the leader in celebrity restaurant brands. And instead of opening expensive locations like Planet Hollywood, the company has grown through virtual kitchens, also known as dark kitchens or ghost kitchens. These kitchens then prepare the food and deliver them through apps like Grubhub and Uber Eats. This year, in the middle of the crisis, Robert got going with his first brands, starting with rapper Tyga and launching Tiger Bites in July, and then partnering with Mariah Carey to launch Mariah's Cookies in early December. MrBeast is his latest sign-up, so when he says he's launching 300 outlets, these are Earl's virtual kitchens with burger recipes designed by Robert's partner, celebrity chef Eric Greenspan. And because the cost of launching these free outlets is little more than getting the recipes, training, branding, and ingredients out to each kitchen, it means MrBeast has achieved in months what it took McDonald's 5 years to reach. Some of the burger bars are also restaurants that have taken a license to use their chefs and kitchens to prepare burgers for home delivery under the MrBeast Burgers brand. That's what happened to this burger boy in Wilson, North Carolina, which was turned into MrBeast Burger for the day to film this episode. That's part of Robert's and now MrBeast's vision of helping the restaurants which are being affected most by the crisis right now. Robert says, I believe that 5 years from now, a very large percentage of the independent restaurant community will have a second brand that is not available to the people dining in their place and has no relationship to the building except that they're using the kitchen. So what's next? Ninja noodles, PewDiePie pies, or Bieber burritos? One thing for sure is that we're seeing a whole new level of influencer businesses, which could extend from virtual restaurants to virtual fashion stores, shopping malls, supermarkets, resorts, and even airlines. And while MrBeast will end up making more millions and giving more away as a result of MrBeast Burgers, Robert Earl will end up making billions. In fact, Robert's inspiration 2 years ago for virtual kitchens started with this man, Travis Kalanick. Travis founded Uber, and soon after leaving Uber, he said virtual kitchens would disrupt restaurants the same way Uber is disrupting taxi companies. That's because the biggest cost in a restaurant is the kitchen, and most are in high rent areas. So why not have low cost kitchens in lower cost areas, closer to neighborhoods, and focusing on delivery? Travis invested $150 million from his own money from Uber and launched Cloud Kitchens that bought over Food Stars, one of England's biggest virtual kitchen startups. Last year, Cloud Kitchens raised another $400 million, which already valued it at over $5 billion. During the crisis, the trend for home delivery increased, and Uber Eats now generates more than double the ride bookings of Uber. So what do you think? Is MrBeast Burgers a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know in the comments below. Here's what I think, and I'd love to know if you agree or disagree. I actually think this is a really good thing. I know some people will say, launching a burger brand, this is like overreach or overextension for a YouTuber. Others will say the last thing we need is another burger brand, or won't this give struggling restaurants even more challenges for survival? And while some people are loving the burgers, there's others that are complaining about the food, leading MrBeast to tweet this message. But here's how I look at it. This has been a crazy year, and with this crisis, trust has moved from the government, big business, and the mainstream media to our friends, communities, and even YouTubers. MrBeast's video became the #1 trending video on YouTube, and the MrBeast Burger app kept on crashing because of all the downloads, leading MrBeast to post this message. In the past, it would be crazy for anyone with no restaurant experience to launch 300 outlets all at the same time. But with new partnership models and the new technology we've got today, the cost and risk of launching a new restaurant brand has come down massively. So there's every reason this can be a win-win for Robert Earl, for MrBeast, for MrBeast fans, and yes, even the restaurants that are struggling through this crisis. If restaurants with kitchens and staff can make extra revenue, making burgers for MrBeast fans, or cookies for Mariah Carey's fans, that means they can stay in business, and that's a good thing. And if this means there's more competition and choice from the big name brands, well, that's a good thing too. And finally, if MrBeast can build a brand that can attract a partnership like this, when just 3 years ago, his videos were getting just 1,000 views each. So what does that say about the age of opportunity we're in, despite the crisis? And if you've been equally inspired by what 22-year-old MrBeast has achieved, then please do click a like on this video and do subscribe for more stories on the opportunities coming our way. Thanks for watching, and I want to finish this video with this tweet that MrBeast pinned to the top of his Twitter feed. I want to use my main channel's influence to one day open hundreds of homeless shelters and food banks and give away all the money. Which reminds me of Pablo Picasso's quote, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away."